Hey everyone, Mark from The Cloud CEO, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about 5 different ways to make your website look really good and to stand out from the competition. Alright, so now number 5 is branding. So branding is something that people tend to think about and relate to logos, but it can be more than just logos. It can be the colors that you pick, and it can be the overall look and the feel and design of yourself or your brand if it's your company, especially if you're planning on not putting yourself out there on the internet. If you're planning on just having your company name or a YouTube channel name or something like that, you really should give some thought into branding a logo that kind of stands out. People can identify fairly quickly and easily to know that this content or this piece of content or this thing is from you. Because if they know, like, and trust you, once they see another piece of content from you, if they can easily identify it, they're going to be more likely to click, watch, play, read, whatever it is that you're putting out on the internet. So now I like to use Photoshop for my designs, but at the same time, you don't have to know Photoshop. So if you're wanting to design something yourself and you don't want to take the time to learn Photoshop, totally get it. You can use another program called Canva. It's a free online image and graphics designing program that is really user-friendly and is actually free for most of the features that you would need. If you don't want to do this yourself, that's totally fine too. There are a few other options out there as well that you can use to generate options for you automatically. So all you have to do is go to these websites, you put in your information like your channel name or your brand name or your personal name, whatever it is that you're trying to promote, as well as answer a few questions like colors, maybe some things that you like design-wise. And these websites will spit out a bunch of different designs that you can choose from, and then you can just select the one you like, and your logo is completely done. So if you're interested in that, I'll have resources in the description below about this and all the other tips that I have that are coming up in this video. Next, we have images. Images are not only a great way to make your website look better, but they're also great at helping you tell a story and to get your message and your point across. So having good, high-quality images can help you in more ways than one. Now, one of the big sticking points that people have in this step is they'll go to Google and they'll do a search for different images and they'll find one or more images that they like and then they'll put them on their website. But I'm going to tell you to not do that. And the reason is because most of the images that you find on Google are not available for use. They're out there because someone else is using them, someone else has a copyright on them, and if you try to use them on your website, you're opening yourself up to a lot of liability and potentially a lawsuit if you're using the wrong one. So what I would suggest instead is to go to different websites that actually have images available for commercial use that don't charge royalties or they don't have any royalty fees associated with them. One of the websites I love to go to is pixabay.com, and there's other ones as well that will get you images that you can use for your website that look great, but will also not get you into any legal trouble. Next up, we have icons. Now, icons are very similar to images. They serve very similar purposes. So with icons, they still help you make the website or web page look more visually appealing. They make it look better, and they also are there to help communicate your story or your message to those people that are coming to your website. The other thing that icons do, and I think they do better than images, is they help break up the content on the page so that way the content, the words don't feel too overwhelming. You can help draw people's attention to specific points and maybe points that they're more interested in than others. It can really help break up the information and the content visually and help people consume it better and more efficiently. Next up are fonts. Now, fonts are something that people tend to not really think about, and a good font actually is just that. It's really something that's not distracting. It doesn't distract the person that's reading the information on your webpage from actually reading the information. I've seen a lot of people actually mess this step up. They'll pick a font that kind of looks cool or looks different or whatever, and it really messes up trying to get that information across to the person that's actually reading it. It can be distracting, and it can also be an issue for people that have some kind of visual impairments or visual issues. They might not be able to read it. So you want to make sure you pick fonts that are clear, easy to read, and are appropriate for your webpage. A lot of different fonts are available for free. Some are paid fonts, but when you're using fonts on the web, you want to make sure you use ones that are free and that can go across to any web browser, not ones that are specifically designed for things like graphics design on different programs like Adobe Illustrator. So you want to make sure you're choosing fonts that are universally recognized with different web browsers. If you pick a font from the Google Fonts website or repository, then you can rest assured knowing that that's most likely going to be compatible with any browser that visits your website. So Google Fonts is my go-to. All right, and the number one thing is content. There is no replacement for good content. And what I mean by that is, think about a book. When you buy a book, you might be attracted to the cover initially, but the pages in the book, typically there aren't any images. There's nothing to hold your attention but the words on the page. And that's what you need to think about when it comes to your website. As long as you have good content, as long as you have quality information, things that will hold people's attention and people find valuable, then you're going to have a great website that people will want to come back to and to spend time on and to actually listen to you, listen to what you have to say, whether or not it's a story or if you're trying to sell them something. So make sure you put most of your focus and your effort on the content itself. All these other things that I've talked about will help for sure, but most of your time, I'd say 80% of your time, needs to be on the content itself. Again, I'll have links in the description below to everything that I talked about, as well as some other resources that will be helpful to you. So be sure to check that out. If you have any other questions about things that I covered in this video or about websites, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, be sure to leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you and I'd love to help you out. All right, thanks for watching this video and I will see you in the next one.